Manjari Dasi Jaya Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Mohan Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Mohan Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Jaya Radha Bhajinika Radha Bhajinika Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gauranikai 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 Jaya Gauranikai Jaya Gauranikai 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 Jaya Gauranikai Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Jaya Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Jai Shri Radha Balramdesh Govardhan Krishna Balram Jagannath Baldev Subramanya ki Shri Prabhupada ki ki. Start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padanu Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakambhitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Harite Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I thank the temple management to giving me this opportunity to speak on this celebrating that we'll be celebrating Radhashtami in a few days. So I'll be speaking about the topic is forgiveness of Krishna. I'll be speaking on the Kaliya Daman Leela from Srimad Bhagavatam. Uh, I'll just present. Please kindly bless me and bear with me if I have I don't know how I'm going to speak, but kindly bear with me. So we'll start with I think all of you have been heard the Kaliya Daman Leela. Almost all of you must be knowing it, or even this child must be knowing. So quite that we keep listening to all these pastimes every time we relish the pastimes. The only reason we keep listening and still we relish is that there is a lot of nectar when we hear, and that purifies us. So even though the pastimes are repetitive, like I think now we'll have Kartik month or Damodar month also, and we'll be hearing the Damodar Leela every day almost. So we still relish it so much, and that is the process of purification, or it cleanses our heart. So here, though everyone knows this pastime of Kaliya Daman, I will just uh, share my I mean, what I've heard from the seniors. I'll be sharing my words, what Prabhupada has written. And so start with actually Kaliya, the snake or the serpent, represents enviousness or jealousy and, this pride, all this it represents. So then we actually, this Little Google workshop, we were speaking about the demons, how these demons, each demon represents one of the anarthas which we carry in us. The anarthas are the unwanted things, on unwanted desires which we carry within ourselves. So we were just speaking on that, on the similar topics to the children. So here the Kaliya representing pride, enviousness, and jealousy is the anarthas which we all all have, including me. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually says that these anarthas have to be all these demons. The Lord is being killing and emulating, and these are the actually anarthas in within ourselves. So here the example. One of the Mataji I've prepared class from, it has been Mataji's and it is from Maharaj's lectures. So here Mataji was telling an example of how a fisherman, when he wants to catch the fish, and he will catch the fish and he will sell it off. He will not look for how are they, all that he doesn't look for. He just catch the fish and he'll just sell it off. But if the fisherman wants to cook for himself fish, then he will just check the fish, each and every part of it. Is it good or not? Then he'll select and then he'll put. So similarly, it is like we are thrown into this net of Maya, and Krishna is selecting. Like he sees, okay, this bhakta or this devotee is, you can go till Golok Dham door, and then you just stop there because of your anartha. So he will just see you. He sees you. Okay, this devotee is having the anarthas, or he's all finished all his anarthas. If not, he will just see. So that dust of anartha is not qualified for us to enter to Golok Dham. So here Mataji was telling. So the Lord is always seeing. I want all my devotees to be free of anarthas. So here, like what we practice, the bhakti or devotional service which we practice, is not just a ritualistic thing or a sentimental thing, but it is something very, what do you say? It's the purification of the heart. Within the heart, that purification has to come. Like externally, we may become a devotee very easily, like you. We go to the Sankirtan stall, buy a dhoti, kurta, kanti, tilak. We wear everything. We perfectly look like a devotee. So what is more required? Of course, this is all very much needed to, for cleansing, but internally, internally purification of the heart is also very much required. So these kathas or the pastimes of the Lord gives us the purification of the heart whenever we listen to any of the katha. So mostly our mind is the one, like Arjuna keeps telling that I can control everything. I can control a river also with my arrows, but I cannot control my mind. My mind is so chanchala. It is not steady. So how we can put our mind into control is by serving the Lord or putting our mind in the service of the Lord. So by listening to such kathas or the Bhagavad kathas or the pastimes and glorifications of the Lord's name and his pastimes, we all have this, we get this purification. So another thing, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, when he visited Bahrain, he was telling about the Bhakti Lada peach, that has to grow. That the seed is there, but it has to grow it. And so where do we sow the seed of devotional service is in the heart. So that how fertile the land is, then only that seed will sprout and grow like a lata or the creeper, the devotional service. So how fertile the land is, the fertility of the land is referring to the we have started the chanting, and we are doing our devotional service. We are following the regulative principles, 4 regulative principles. And then when the land is fertile, when you are sowing your seed, it grows nicely, but also around the fertile land, you see some weeds growing that you didn't sow, but they are coming because the land is fertile. So the weeds are coming and then they are growing. When you think let the weeds grow, I am just growing my plant. But ultimately, when the weeds grow a lot bigger, it will actually kill the plant. So the weeds are very important to be removed. So these weeds are nothing but the anarthas in us. So it's very important to remove these anarthas. The weeds are to be plucked off. Then only the Bhakti Lata beach or the Bhakti Lata will be sprouting, and it will be nourished and it will be coming out very beautifully. So here, how the anarthas are referring to these weeds, and then we see that everyone is obviously having these pride, jealousy, maliciousness. These are the 3 things the acharyas have said. Actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says these are the anarthas representing the Kalya. So I would like to start with the Leela, the pastime, where all the Gopas and all Krishna and his Gopa friends, they are all ready to go take the cows to grazing for the pasturing lands nearby. In Vrindavan, all of you know that in Vrindavan there are so many forests. So in Vrindavan forest, they are wanting to take the cows for grazing. And this was a year where just Krishna finished his the 5-year-old, that from 1 to 5 it is called Bala. So he just finished, and then till 5 years, Gopashtami just finished, Pavan. So he just finished his Gopashtami festival, and he's given the responsibility of the cows instead of calves, because he was small. Only the calves were given with him for grazing. But now he says that now I've grown up, now that I have to take the cows also, I'm no more a child, so Krishna says. And then he wants to take them for grazing. So Mother Yashoda and all the gopis, they all see the children, the Krishna and all the Gopa friends, they are taking the cows for the grazing. Early morning they're going. And all of them are witnessing this beautiful scene where the Lord is, just saying to the cows, they make the sounds, like he takes them and he says that he's taking them, and all of the dust is coming up in this beautiful scene. They are witnessing the gopis and Yashoda, and that what the acharyas say is the nourishment for them till evening, till the Supreme Lord Krishna, when he's coming back. Till then, they will be missing Krishna so much that they are seeing just till they can witness till he goes into the forest. In the last moment, they were witnessing, so that whole thing, witnessing the Lord, is the nourishment for the whole day, which they will be passing through. So that is what we take for nourishment is food. So that nourishment for them is looking at the Lord always. So then he goes, and then when that is a nourishment for the day, and then when they see the Lord coming back from the pasturing lands, they are very eagerly waiting. When will the Lord come? When is going to the sun is going to set? They're actually looking at Surya Dev and they're saying, why you have decreased your speed? Why aren't you, just moving fast? We want the Lord to come back. So they're just looking at Surya Dev and telling him, I think some tire is punctured or something. You're not running, and the Lord is not coming back. So finally, when the sun sets and the Lord is coming back, and then they're very eager to see him. They're all waiting actually to see Krishna, and all the gopis are waiting, and then he comes, and that is the nourishment which they actually take it for the whole night till the next day, till the Lord is there with them, and then for the next day. So as soon as the Lord comes, and Yashoda Devi is cleaning the Lord, and she's giving fresh clothes, she's giving puja to him, and then she's singing for him. So she's thoroughly enjoying the Lord's presence, and that is the bhava of all the Brajvasis. They're equally very happy to listen to look at the Lord and take the darshan of him. So they are completely relishing the Lord's beautiful form. So that is the nourishment they are getting from. It's not just the prasad, but the nourishment for them is always looking at the Lord. So here actually another thing I wanted to say is Vallabhacharya actually is describing, I think all of you must be knowing this song, Adharam Madhuram Nayanam Madhuram Madhura Pipate Akhilam Madhuram. So here in the whole song, I guess all of you know that he is describing how beautiful the Lord's form is, how beautiful his cheeks are, his red lips are, his eyes are so beautiful, like lotus eyes, the feet are so beautiful. His waist is moving, swaying so beautifully, it's moving. So he's describing each and every, how the Lord is beautifully. So that is what everyone is actually looking, and they're getting so much satisfaction, happiness looking at the Lord. So that is, they go to the pasturing grass to pasture take the cows for pasturing, and then this time actually Balarama doesn't go because it's his birthday, and Balarama is at home with Rohini Maya. She's giving him a bath and some special puja because it's his birthday. So she didn't go on that morning. He didn't go. He didn't join them. So they're going, and then suddenly in the river they are playing. All the Gopa boys, they're playing, and the ball just goes and falls into the river. Krishna was there with them. So they said that Krishna, you have dropped the ball there. Now you go and pick it from there. His friend says, get my ball back. So Krishna says he was just waiting for, for the Gopas to tell that he wants to just go there and kill Kalia. Means he knows Kalia is there, and it is actually the Acharyas say that Sridhar Swami says in this thing that the Kalia was so poisonous. It was so poisonous that around the Kalia river where it is situated, around 8 miles, the whole area was dried up completely. There was not even anything which is green, surviving, living creature, and everything was dried. And the hot fumes of the poisonous thing was so hot that even because of that poison, the water started boiling because of the poison. And then because of that boiling water, the fumes which came from the boiling water, they just flew up, and any bird, any creature which passed along the sky also would just burn and fall dead into the river. So it was so poisonous. The poison emanating from this Kalia was so dangerous, and it was spreading out everywhere. And Krishna knew this, and he wanted all the safety of his cows and the Gopa boys and the friends, all the Brajvasis. He wants their safety, so he's ready to jump in and then get the ball and kill the Kaliya serpent. But here, Kaliya in the Sukhdeva Goswami, when he's describing this pastime to Parikshit Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj, he quickly says that, okay, Krishna jumped into the Yamuna river, which is also known as Krishna. Yamuna river is also known as Krishna because of the complexion it has, and it is very dear to Krishna. So Krishna jumped into the river and killed Kaliya. So simply he said, and he finished the pastime with one verse. And then Parikshit Maharaj said, no, this is not the way. Though Parikshit Maharaj has been listening to all these pastimes right from childhood about Krishna's pastime, but he wanted all the detailed descriptions. How did Krishna actually subdue Kaliya? So he wanted to know everything. So he said he was inquiring with very excitement, and he very submissively, like how we should inquire to a guru. In Bhagavad Gita, where it is said, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. The Tadvidhi pranipatena, with very humble and receptive ears you should have when you're inquiring from a guru. So here, Parikshit Maharaj was very enthusiastically and humbly asking, like, how did Krishna subdue Kaliya? Please give us the whole pastime, very detailed pastime. He wants to listen. So here then, Sukhdeva Maharaj starts that how they. So here, so he starts like how the gopis are taking pleasure in the Lord's presence, and they're taking nourishment, and then he goes there, and then the Lord actually climbs onto a kadamba tree. There is one kadamba tree across the Yamuna, and he just wants to jump there and take the ball out. So he was saying that all the living creatures in and around Kaliya were all dead. There was nothing green. So, but this tree was surviving, kadamba tree, very beautiful yellow flowers. They will be having like balls. They look. I think everyone knows this. There are lots in Vrindavan. So that tree was still there. So he went there, and Sukhdeva Maharaj says that this tree is still surviving because the Lord just stepped. Rupa Goswami actually says about this, that because the Lord stepped onto the kadamba tree, it just became enlivened. Because wherever Krishna is there, and wherever the Lord goes, everywhere it is very enlivening. There is nothing like that. So as soon as the Lord steps onto the tree's branches, it just becomes alive. So that is one of the saying that the tree was alive still. And also there's a pastime where Garuda actually knew that this would happen much further. So he drops a nectar, the Amrita, onto the tree. So that becomes immortal, or it doesn't die. Even now, if we go, there's Kaliya Ghat where you see this kadamba tree. You can have darshan of this kadamba tree where actually the Lord jumped from here. So though the bank is now very far off because of the flow, but yes, we can still have darshan of this place, Kaliya Ghat in Vrindavan. So that's how actually the kadamba tree was still surviving. And Krishna likes kadamba trees a lot. Why? Because the kadamba is actually golden. It actually is golden in color, and the flowers are golden. So it's this tree. Looking at this tree, Krishna gets reminded of Radharani. So as soon as he sees kadamba tree, he gets remembrance of Radharani. Therefore, he likes the kadamba tree so much. Similarly, even Radharani likes tamal trees very much. When she sees tamal trees, she gets reminder of Krishna because it is dark color. The tamal leaves are dark in color. So she likes tamal. So you see a lot of kadamba trees in Vrindavan. So that's how there are a lot of beautiful pastimes of the Lord. So here further, when we see go, and then the Lord is taking actually a dip into that Yamuna river, and he wants to subdue. So when he actually jumps into the Yamuna river, it makes a huge tumultuous sound. It's so huge that something really big, when it drops, the water splashes, right? So this water actually splashed to so many miles. It sounded like that. And because of that splash, actually Kalia, who was sleeping under inside the lake, he just got disturbed. And he was thinking, what is this sound which is coming? And when the Lord was swimming, actually it was huge roar. And he was thinking, who is this person who's coming? I mean, disturbing my sleep. Oh, nobody actually dares to come here. So here another thing also, all the when the Lord is there, when I said that it's all always breezy and cool and everything is very fresh, but here that particular pastime where all these cowherd boys also they go near the lake, and all at the same time all of them drink water, and they just fall dead actually, because they're very thirsty actually. So they Maharaj is telling Parikshit, Sukhdev Goswami, sorry, is telling Parikshit that how all of them got at the same time thirst, and you will know this better because you were also thirsty, and he was actually saying that you also did this, you understand this better because you also did that when he was very thirsty, he put a dead snake on the rishi and then he was cursed. So then all these when you're thirsty, you really don't understand, it doesn't function anything. So you just want to go and drink water. So all these cowherd boys and cows at the same time, all of them just drank and they fell dead there. And then the Lord sees his merciful glance just by looking, the Lord just by looking at them. This is actually before climbing the Kadamba. So he just sees them, and then with his nectar of his eyes only, they all get awakened. They come back to life, and they just see each other and they're shocked. And you were dead, but again, so this is all our Lordship. He has taken care of us. Then finally he goes, and of course he jumps, and that sound Kalia gets up and you see he is coming up and he's seeing the small boy. He's saying that why did you come here to disturb me? And there is a little little pastime how actually why Kalia has become a serpent. His previous life, how it was. I just wanted to say this from actually, Garga Samhita. It is mentioned that Devashri Rishi, he was actually meditating in the mountains of Vindhya mountains, and he was meditating there. And he was a pure devotee, and he was meditating there. So, and another Muni who is Ashvashera Muni, he also comes and he also starts to meditate. But Devashri, he will say that, why are you coming to my place and meditating here? This is my place. You go off. You cannot come here. So he will say, how can you say that I am also meditating? You are also meditating on the Lord. Let's do this. No, he'll be saying this. So this Ashveshwara Muni, he will say that you are hissing like a snake. I curse you that you become a snake. And then he also curses him back that you are saying kaka like a crow. So I curse you to become a crow. So the Lord immediately comes, Lord Vishnu comes and he says, you are all pure devotees. What are you all fighting? So just stop it. Then he will say, then they realize immediately, both of them, that we have done a great mistake cursing. And then they say, kindly Lord help us. So the Lord says that I can only change this. Already this is cursed. So I can just change this into a blessing. So what he says is when you become a crow, you will be called Kakabu Shandi, where you will remember what all knowledge you have right now also. In that life also you'll be having all the knowledge, and he's the one who will be speaking all the pastimes of Rama and all the Ramayana he'll be telling to Garuda. So he'll describe all this Kakabu crow. Then he will say to Kalia that I myself, you will be taking birth as Kalia, and I myself will come and deliver you and I'll give you my footprints on your this thing. So I'll deliver you when you come back as a Kalia. So that was a little pastime. The previous life of Kalia. from Garga Samhita. So here, and then after that, he's fighting. The law actually, Kalia is having 1,000 hoods, and all the hoods are like just wanting to bite, or they are hitting the chest of Krishna, and they want to bite him. And Krishna is like turning him round, and he's just moving away. And then finally the Kalia finally no, Kalia actually takes the whole, it rotates its coil around the Lord, and it will tie him very tightly, and he will not move. The Lord will not be able to move. Meantime, all of the devotees, I mean, all the Vrajavasis come to know that the Lord has gone to this lake, Yamuna river, where Kalia is there, and this is poisonous and so dangerous. We have warned all the kids not to go there, all the children, the Gopas not to go there, but still they have gone. And here Krishna has jumped into it, and as soon as Mother Yashoda actually comes to, actually hears this, she immediately rushes to Yamuna river, and she sees that the Lord is caught between the coils, and he immediately faints there. She faints with, and she tries to get him, and again sees the Lord like that, and completely faints, and she's not coming back to conscious. And Nanda Maharaj listens to this and comes running, and he's just seeing helplessly that the Lord is tied up there, and I can't help him. So all the, actually the other gopis who are there around Yashoda, they are actually very loudly speaking about the pastimes of the Lord, so that Yashoda, if she can hear the Lord's pastimes, she'll just come back to conscious. But she was not, because she was totally under the impression that what happened to my Kana, what happened to my sweetheart, he's just quiet and I'm not able to. She's completely unconscious. And all the other Gopa friends and all the Brajavasis actually, who all heard the sound when he was jumping, the huge sound which came, all the forest living creatures all around, other forests, other villages, they all just came listening to all this, and they're just seeing that they're very, they're all so, what do you call, they're so fearful, they're stunned that the Lord is captured there. And they are actually, in Bhagavatam, it says, there's, Prabhupada actually says in the purpose that the Rajavasis, actually, they have given all of themselves to the Lord. They have given their soul, they have given their bodies, their desires, the property, whatever they had, they just, everything was for the Lord. So it was only for the Lord, everything. They literally looking at him, and they are all teared up in hearts that the Lord is there and they're not helping. And that mera sab kuch udhar hai, and I am not able to do anything. So they were all crying, and they were not able to reciprocate properly. They were all crying, and actually when we see our condition, we generally don't cry and listening to such a pastime. So actually I mean, it is like we don't have that relationship still with the Lord. I mean, at least me, I mean, we don't have the relationship, the personal relationship we didn't develop. So we don't have that ecstatic love for the Lord. So we don't get those tears. Generally, how we have seen in this Corona situation that there are many updates in the newspaper that so many people are passing away, but we generally don't cry for anybody. But if it is someone very dear to us, very personally, we know them, we have a relationship with them, then something happens to them, we are teared up. We are totally, because we have a relationship there, we understand there is a sambandha, there is a relation. So that kind of relation we need to develop with the Lord. So there, all of them were so horribly frightened, and they were looking, the Lord is, captured there, and we are not able to help. And in all this midst, Lord Balarama also comes, and he sees, and he's smiling. And he's smiling. They all are worried there. They're tense. They're super tense. And Balarama is smiling nicely. So why he's smiling, Acharya say that though the Brajvasis have this love and affection, they don't understand the supremacy of the Lord. So, but the Lord Balarama, he knows very well that he is the supreme, and this snake is nothing in front of his power, and therefore he's smiling. And someone says that also says that Kalia actually is the family of Anantasesha only. He's getting the association of the touch of the Lord. He's so fortunate. So he's thinking like that, and therefore Balarama is smiling. So I think all of you know this, that Anantasesha and Kalia are related. So he's saying that I know he is the supreme and he can take care. So, and also they say why Balarama did not come with Krishna. Generally, whenever they're going for taking the cows for grazing and all, together they go always, Krishna and Balarama. But this time, why he didn't want to go? This was Krishna's thing, Krishna's plan, that when all of them see that Krishna is there and someone should be there to, take care of the Brajbasis there, or to, what we say, that like you have to stop them. That because of that affection, they all wanted to go and actually die in Yamuna, because without Krishna, nothing is there for us. So only to stop them, Balarama was there. So Balarama came later. So he was actually stopping them. No, nothing will happen to Krishna. You all stay here. He will come back. So he was stopping them. So therefore, he didn't go to that, for grazing initially. So here we say that how the Lord is jumping into the river so that he takes subdues Kalia, which is having all these anarthas. Similarly, we all should pray to the Lord that our heart is that, Kalia is sitting in our heart. We should ask him to jump into our heart and remove this Kalia, this anarthas which we have or carry in our heart. To remove them, we have to pray to the Lord continuously, so that you also come into my heart of being Kalia and just remove this Kalia from my heart. You come and jump into my heart, Krishna. This should be my humble prayer. And also, if you see, there was I heard this in the lecture, that anybody's asked which Rama you like, which form of Rama, the Rama who actually killed Ravana, or the Rama who was Dasharatha Rama, or the son of Dasharatha as a child, or one who has gone to the forest in the Andakaranya when he went. You like that Rama? So they said that I like the Rama which killed Ravana. Why? Because my heart is also like the palace of gold, and this is the Ravana sitting in my heart. So I want Lord Rama to come and kill this Ravana, and without even calling for, the Lord comes there. Actually, Ravana doesn't call that you come, Lord Rama, but Dasharatha will be calling Lord Ramachandra. He'll be there with me. So similarly in the forest also, he's been called by the Guru. He'll go there, but Ravana doesn't call Rama, you come here. He doesn't go, but still he goes and kills him. That is what is actually our position, to where Ravana is in our heart, and we should actually ask the Lord to come and kill that anartha which is in form of Ravana, to kill Ravana. So that is one of the tidbits which was given in the lecture. So all the Brajvasis actually, they're all worried and they are just singing, the Lord, that Hey Govinda, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey, I think this song, the Hey Saketi, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Saketi, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. They're so desperate that we are not able to see the Lord, and they're calling out the Lord's name so hugely. So then the Lord really, actually in 2 hours he'll be in the grip of Kalia, like that only. And then also it is said that the Lord, Lord Vishnu actually sleeps on Anantasesha. That is his bed, regular bed. So when he was coiled in with the Kalia, so he also felt the same effect of that bed. So he slept off. So for 2 hours he's sleeping here. He doesn't realize all the Brajvasis are here. And then he gets up and he sees all the Brajvasis are crying for him. And then he is like, now I have to get up. Now it is like on the verge of death. They will just give up their life if I don't make myself present there. So they think now Krishna will be vanquished, they'll be thinking. And also all these Brajvasis will be seeing all these inauspicious signs, like the spluttering of the eyes of the man and all the inauspicious signs. So they'll be saying, always be thinking there's something wrong going to happen. All these signs are coming. And then Acharyas say actually that these signs, this inauspicious signs which we call, is actually for a pure devotee, when he's crying, that is itself an inauspicious sign. So when all these Brajvasis at the bank of Yamuna, when they were crying so much, that was the inauspiciousness. That inauspicious, actually, the demigods are also saying that this is inauspicious, that the pure devotees are crying to the Lord. So that is the real inauspiciousness. The pure devotees are crying. So here, if we see in Mahabharata also, when the Pandavas go incognito, that time they all will be in the Virat Raj. And here Yudhishthira Maharaj will be as the assistant to the king, and Arjuna will be like a Brihandala, and Bhima takes up the role as a cook, and Nakul and Sahadev take up the stables. So there, when actually Virat, the son, when he goes and he comes back winning the Kauravas, he defeats all the Kauravas and comes back, then Yudhishthira Maharaj says, because Brihalanda is there, that's why he won very easily. So this makes the Virat very angry, but he doesn't express. But in another situation, again, he says the same thing, and immediately he hits him with this the dice which they were playing. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj bleeds actually. And immediately Yudhishthira Maharaj holds his hand so that the drop doesn't drop down, and he tells Draupadi to take care that no drop is falling on the ground. Actually, why he says this is because he is a pure devotee. All the Pandavas, such pure devotees they are. Even if there is one droplet or one drop also falling onto the ground, the whole Virat Raj would have been burned to ashes. Because Yudhishthira Maharaj is saying that they have given us protection, that we should not be doing that. So we are indebted to them. So we should not be doing that. So he takes care that. So that is what, a pure devotee's tears or blood. That's very inauspicious. So that is what the inauspicious signs which they're saying in Sukadeva was describing in Bhagavatam. So then one should take the shelter of the Lord's hand. So then he just wakes up, and then he's fighting with the Kalia. We should finish by 20. So, and he's fighting with them, and then he's losing control. Kalia is actually is trying to kill. I mean, he wants to, just hit him on the chest, and he's turning around, and Krishna is subduing him by he's kicking him so much that all the blood, all the poison he's vomited with all the 1,000 hoods he's having, and then after that he feels so tired, and later he starts vomiting blood actually, Kalia, and then he's very tired and he's understanding that okay, I thought only Garuda was my enemy, but he is much more, 1,000 times much more stronger than Garuda, and he should be none other than but the Supreme Lord. So he realizes that immediately. He realizes that he is the Supreme Lord, and so immediately the Patnis, the Naga Patnis or the wives of Kalia, they all also witness all this, and they immediately. Initially, they were feeling that okay, he is so arrogant, he's so proud. It is better to be killed by Krishna, because they know the Lord is the supreme personality of Godhead. They understand totally, and they are pure devotees of the Lord, Nagapratnis. So, but they just for a fraction of a second they think. But as soon as they see that the reactions of Kalia has changed, and he's become actually humbled. He's little humbled, and he realizes that the Lord he's the supreme Lord and nothing in him. As soon as he changes his attitude or expression, all the wives, they immediately come to Krishna and they just beg for forgiveness. They first praise him. Actually, when you see all this 10th canto, 16th chapter, 33 to 53 shlokas, there's all description of Kaliya Leela, where the first to, I think, the 33 to up to 6 shlokas, all the praising. They will be praising the supremacy of the Lord. They're acknowledging how supreme the Lord is, how protective He is, how He's impartial, how He's equal to everyone. Where He's saying, Sarva Bhuteshu, He's not envious to anybody. He's equal to His family, friends, son, enemy, everyone He's equal. In Bhagavad Gita, we see that in 9.29. So they're praising the Lord so much, and then they're offering obeisances. After that, they're offering all these shlokas. The next shlokas, they see they're completely offering obeisance that you are the controller of all these 3 worlds. You are beyond these 3 modes of nature. You are the one who's just giving strength to everyone. You are there in each and every. So all this, they are praising the Lord and paying obeisances to the Lord. And the last 5 shlokas, towards the end of the chapter, they are actually asking for forgiveness. They're begging for forgiveness that I know this was, he was so arrogant. Forgiveness for Kaliya actually, because he, with all their, the kids and all, they were all praying that this was it. He is the only source for us. So please forgive him, O Krishna. You are the Supreme Lord. You are impartial. So you know everything. Sarva Bhutana. You are the benefactor of all the living entities. Bhaktaram Devi. Bhaktaram Yagna Tapasa. Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. Surudam Sarva Bhutana. So 5.29, the Lord is saying that you are all the benefactor. You know everything. Please kindly release Kaliya. Please forgive him. They are begging for forgiveness. So here, then the Lord is very happy with the pure devotees of his Nagapatnis. He's so happy, and he says, yes, Kaliya has realized. Did you realize? He says, Kaliya says, yes, I have realized, my Lord. I've done a great mistake. Because I am a serpent, my nature was so that my nature was envious. So I realized that you're the Supreme. Kindly forgive me. But how and how do I go back to anywhere? Okay. So actually the Lord says he's not killing all the demons he's been killing, but this serpent he's not killing because he's forgive only because of his pure devotees. All these Nagapatis praying, so he's forgiven such sinful thing he's done. All these sins, disturbing all the Brajavasis was something very much hurting to Krishna. But still he's forgiving. Why? Because his pure devotees are asking, the Nagapatis are asking. So magnanimous the Lord is. Even if you have done some mistake, then he will actually forgive you. So actually when we hear all the Shravanam, when we do the Katha Shravanam, when young Mataji was telling in one of her lectures that when you listen, then whenever there is a Katha happening, actually all the demigods and the Lord himself is also listening there. So even Yamraj comes to listen sometimes. So he'll come and see, and he'll see that, okay, this person is sitting here, is listening to the Bhagavatam class. So when the arrival actually of the Yamraj, when the Dutas come, then they see that, okay, this person has listened though inattentively or disinterested, but still he was sitting there. He was present listening to the pastime of the Lord. So we should not take him here. This is not into my court of this is not my court. So he has to go to Krishna's court. So we see that in the material world, we have so many courts. My dad is an advocate. So we have seen there's a civil court, there's a criminal court, there's a family court, there's so many courts here. So the Lord's court is like Krishna's court only you will go. If you have listened just one class or one pastime of the Lord or the holy name you've taken, you chanted one Krishna's holy name, you have just listened to one, you just did one round of japa or some devotional service you've done, that will be taken into account, and you will be actually that judgment, whatever it is, only Krishna can give. And Yamraj will not have any role in that. So that is how when we hear the kathas continuously, it purifies us. At the same time, the Lord is taking care of us. He's just waiting for us. When my devotee will come to me, and I will, take him. So he's just waiting, and we are the ones who are not wanting to go. We are still thinking, okay, Krishna is my friend. He's my friend. He's my friend. He's my friend. Everyone is my friend. So, and when we advance, when we realize that, then we feel that Krishna is my only best friend. And further, when we advance, we think we will actually come to to a point where we see only Krishna is our friend, no other thing. Actually, there's no other priority except Krishna. But everything will be, side mein, and Krishna will be a top priority. That we have to come to that stage where we see Lord Himself and we reciprocate with His personal form. So in all this, the Lord has been forgiving. So there is also, I think, the song Jaya Radha Jaya Krishna. We have this Jaya Dvija Patni Jaya Naga Kanyagana Bhakati Jaharo Pailo Govinda Charana. Dvija Patni is the wives of the Brahmana. When we see the other pastime, they were so pure that they just went to Lord as soon as he said that I'm hungry. They just went, but the Brahmanas, the husband, didn't go. So they so much love they had. Similarly, the Nagapatni, so they were also so pure devotees of the Lord. So when these pure devotees, they're taking the shelter of the Lord and the Lord's feet, and there is nothing else to be taken, shelter of. So they just all this devotion service is enough, and then you have to just take the shelter of the Lord. So the Lord's feet is described always as lotus feet, and He has beautiful symbols on His foot. And we can actually, there was saying that, wow, what all these symbols represent. The lotus represents the Lord's feet is like lotus, and there is a triangle. It says, He's the controller of these three modes, and then it of course there are many commentaries on that, and I just remember a few. So there is dhatu. Dhatu is something which nourishes when you eat. So when the Lord's feet, you take shelter of the Lord's feet, that is what is the nourishment for our bhakti. And also there is the eight, the octagon. So you get protection from all these ashta thing. You get protection when you are in the shelter of the Lord's feet. So similarly, we have to take the shelter of the Lord's feet. So He forgives. He has forgiven Indra, who has actually caused so much chaos during Govardhan Leela. He's forgiven Lord Brahmadev when he doubted the supremacy of the Lord, looking at like how he's playing with the cowherd boy. So He forgave him. So similarly, He's forgiven so many. He's forgiven Putana, and He's given her a position of a mother, though she wanted to kill him. So the Lord's magnanimous, He's so magnanimous that He can forgive even the sinful. So what to speak of a devotee who sincerely prays to them? So prays to His lotus feet. So our endeavor to achieve the Lord's feet, we should always be, in the prayerful mode of serving Him. So how we can serve is because of Guru's mercy. So Balarama is the Adi Guru, and he'll be, giving us the mercy. So through Guru and through the mercy of all the Vaishnavas who serving the devotees, we can always serve the Lord, serve the Supreme Lord. So that is what I have thought of. I've tried to speak something about forgiveness of Krishna through the pastime of Kaliya Daman, or subduing Kaliya. I just wanted to read one statement which was made by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur about this pastime, the whole pastime. I'll just read as it is. The mercy shown to Kaliya is so obviously and proportionately great in its magnitude in the face of such an extreme gravity of his offense that no rationalistic explanation can do justice to its full beneficent significance. I felt the statement was so true. The Lord is so magnanimous. Whatever explanation you give why He has forgiven is nothing compared to His magnanimity. So He's always there for His pure devotees, and we should all endeavor with Lord's, with Gurus and Vaishnavas' blessings. We'll be able to achieve this position or taking shelter to this Lord's feet, and we'll be praying. So I thank especially the temple management for giving me this opportunity to serve the Lords. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions or comments, can we, Prabhu? Very good. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Now we'll be having a dance performance. We'll have a dance performance now. Hare Krishna.